Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So, yesterday I posted a video, it's about 30 minutes long, titled, The Chilling Adventures of Caroline Dean. And in that video, I mentioned, the Upside Down doll. And, y'all wanted to hear about that story. So first of all, this is not going to be something new to some of y'all if you, followed me or, my previous blog, but it will give you some additional information. So, first of all, let me say, I called it the Upside Down doll, but it's also a spell I wrote called A Doll to Trip Up Thieves. And this is actually the spell that brought me and Denise Alvarado together. I believe she was doing research for her book, the Voodoo Doll Spell Book. She came across my spell, The Doll to Trip Up Thieves, and she liked it so much she wanted to include it in her book, which she did. Here is the book. I'm sure it's available at Amazon.com. And I have two spells in here, but this spell is on page 154 and 155. You can see it here, and then here's the Upside Down doll. So, before I go further with this, let me go back in time to, again, the 90s and my friend Jezebel, who I talked about in my last video. So my friend Jezebel, she was more extroverted than I was. She had moved to my town, Great Falls, South Carolina, from out of state, and she was very much a public witch. She didn't make any, she wasn't in the broom closet, they called it. And so it was kind of hard for her to kind of make friends. But also, as I told y'all, she was a prostitute, and I guess she didn't want too many people to find that out because it would cause her legal trouble. But anyway, there was this gas station in our town, and it was owned by an Indian family. And when I say Indian, I mean they were from India, maybe Pakistan, not Native Americans. And at this gas station, it was a gas station convenience store. So they had the gas pumps out front. You'd go in, it was like a regular old convenience store. But if you go to the back, they had like a little bar, luncheonette, and some seats where they would serve burgers and fries and hot sandwiches, and I think they even did breakfast in the mornings. And she would go there and eat, and she got to know this family pretty well. And the patriarch, the father of the family, asked her for a voodoo doll, and I believe the grandmother asked him to ask her. And so I don't know if she just wasn't really good with needle and thread, or she didn't have the time or whatever, and she knew I made them, so she asked me to make a black, out of black cloth, a black voodoo doll. And I didn't ask her what it was for or anything like that. I just made it for her. And so at some point, I went to that gas station to get gas. I walked inside to get me a Mountain Dew, because I love my Mountain Dew. And as I'm walking out, I happen to look up, something catches my eye. Over the door, on the inside, over the door, there was the doll that I made, and it was hanging upside down. And I thought, well, wow, okay. And so I asked her about that, and she said, yeah, that they had asked her for a doll to hang over the door to keep out shoplifters, thieves, armed robbers, people who'd want to steal gas. And that was the inspiration for this spell. Now, like I said, you can find the spell in the Voodoo Doll Spell Book by Denise Alvarado. And I'm not going to give you the entire recipe, but I will tell you one thing that I put in that doll was vandal root. And so that inspired me to make this spell. So I put vandal root in the doll and some other things, and I had the inspiration of, when you hang the doll upside down over the door, each time you capture a shoplifter, or a robbery attempt is foiled, or maybe even a shoplifter is caught and you take them to jail or what have you, you stick a pin in that doll so that you pin the charges on them. So if you ever go into, you know, a gas station in the South and you look up and you see a doll hanging upside down over the door and it's got a lot of pins in it, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because number one, it means that place has been robbed or shoplifted a lot. But on the other hand, those pins mean that that robber or thief was caught. This does not have to be just for a business. You can hang this over the door to your home. If you have property like a storage unit and you're worried about it, you know, being broken into, you can do it with a storage unit. You can hang one in your car over, you know, what's that called? The rear view mirror. And use it to prevent anyone from stealing your car, or damaging your car, or bringing any harm to your car. I even know a little lady told me that she put this over her granddaughter had a little dollhouse, and she made a tiny little doll and put it inside the dollhouse over the door. Anyway, so that is the story of the upside down doll. I know I didn't give y'all a lot of information. Maybe I gave you some inspiration. If you want to know more about the doll to trip up thieves, or lots and lots of different ways to make voodoo dolls and use them, check out Denise's book. Again, it's the Voodoo Doll Spell Book by Denise Alvarado. Anyway, that's it for today, and I'll see you next time. Have a great weekend.